Sweet. Hopefully that worked. I tried to go ahead before, but unfortunately, their website seems to be down at the minute. So, but anyway, we're going to run a quick or a short presentation on some of their binaries and mostly
Roger, Sue himself.
Sue and Roger have arrived.
Yes,
Hello.
greetings.
Oh, this is nice. Just hang about it.
I was wondering if you're coming.
More heaven. Just while it's waiting.
Could consider having time.
No, that was the problem. I was enjoying my last calm the nerves down after a long day.
But you're not presenting.
No. Just had to get in the mood.
Yeah, you were saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about the Internet Component Suite, and I'm just going to show a couple of demos. One's their email program or their email demo, which is what's in front of you. And yes, the reasons why I'm out thinking I'd have a play with these is because when I go to get open SSL DLLs for Indy, I sort of often wind up on the Overbyte website getting their DLLs because they have the they seem to be the ones that are there and have the minimal number of dependencies. And at the minute, this thing seems a bit more supported than Indy because Indy seems to have stalled a lot. And if we use OpenSSL 1.1 and OpenSSL 3.x, and you can just install and update it because properly updating Indy seems quite painful because it's used by bits of Delphi.
Roger,
Yeah.
your microphone sound is quite fuzzy.
Okay.
Can you maybe turn it around a bit or something?
Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
Okay. And this Internet Component Suite has routines for OAuth 2 for SMTP. It's free. It's postcardware. I sent him a postcard today, so hopefully that's good. I have previously sort of looked at it, but the SSL part wasn't free, but it's the SSL part is now also free. So it's likely to be well worth considering. Like most of these things, the documentation is lagging a fair way behind the actual product. There's a wiki, you can download things. You can download a current nightly snapshot, which is zipped, which just has the sort of current version 8 stuff in it. And looks like there'll be a version 9 soon that'll handle Android. Yeah, and I've just been, well, I've only downloaded a couple of them, but I just drop it into the folder with all the other stuff and pull it into Git, and then I can sort of see what changed between the versions. Anyway, we'll run a couple of demos. Not sure. Oh well. The first one's an email sender. It's got OAuth 2 and yeah, it's mostly good. What I'm going to do is sending to a local email thing, so I can just repeatedly send and not annoy some emails provider. Though I don't have an email server that will do OAuth 2, so I'll just talk to Google for that one. And what's the other thing? The certificates, current certificates for in-house testing, they seem to have changed a bit in the last few years. So they're, they provide a certificate badge, but it didn't make certificates that work with newer versions of OpenSSL and modern browsers. So, they need like a 2048-bit minimum RSA key. They need their name to be part of the SAN part of the certificate rather than just common name. And yeah, I think I have run into this before, so it wasn't a total surprise, but anyway. Also, OAuth 2, the redirection URL, had a fixed port of 8080. And I installed Continua on this recently, and it's also running on that. And it was causing me some grief. So anyway, we'll run this thing and see how we go. Hopefully it's, come on. Yeah, so this is sending to, why is it sending to port 5?
That's the SSL.
Yeah, I'm not sending any SSL, but 587, we'll try 587. And SSL type can be. And in the, I've got this thing called, well, I hope I've got it. Email relay, and that acts as basically an email listener, and will then forward it onto this paper cut thing, which is just a simple receiver. As you can see, I've been testing it, so it's been pulling down quite a sorted lot of emails. And so if we go, and this, you can sort of step through your SMTP, but I'm just going to click the all-in-one button and hope it all runs. Oh, that doesn't, it's not happy. Wrong SSL version. None. 587. This one should be explicit. Try that. 1. It's gone and wound up in here. So it's quite sure where the pictures have gone. Because it does have a couple of pictures in there. Conveniently, it spits them out as EML files, so you can look at them in Outlook, and hopefully they look a bit. Oh, here we go. Okay, for some. It's interesting. Pretty sure I have had these coming in as actual images inside the picture, but they're not at the minute. I'm not quite sure what I've changed. Okay. And the other one we can do is just go. Not that. Try and explore that. Just stop there. Ah. Ooh. I will just edit this one. How do I do this? Save as. We'll try it again with an OAuth2 And so this one's already got this token with that is the, what is it called? The long-term token. See how we go with this. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, this is an app I made, and yeah, it's not verified or continue. Please close this. Well, hopefully. Okay, so with a bit of luck, now it might work. Oh, and that was yeah, so it seems to work quite well. And has anyone got any questions?
How did you find it to code? Was it
No, this is just a demo.
okay?
I grabbed it and it's yeah, it's, and I've been trawling through it and going, yeah, I'm not quite sure. But like with Indie, you tend to wind up with the things using what are they called? Other threads. This one seems to run only in the main thread.
Right.
So, but it doesn't, they're all non-blocking, so it sort of starts things off and then exits back, and then something causes a Windows message to come in, and so it's sitting there being sort of reactive, and you can do things with it. And then it goes off, and the Windows message goes and says, "Go and look at the thing," and it seems quite clever. I'm a little bit worried, and I haven't tried it, as to how it would run in a what do they call those, console application, where you don't have your Windows message processing queue. I think it should be okay in a server sort of function, because they do have a message processing thing.
Well, I think you can add a message processing to a Windows console program anyway, can't you?
Probably.
You can improve Pascal.
Well, I guess, yeah, I guess if you're prepared to make one, yeah.
Hang on a second. I've done console programs without services.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the two ways. Windows has the so-called non-blocking or asynchronous mode, whereas Indie blocks. And that's at the basic socket level, and this is obviously taking the Windows way out. But that means you've got these messages, you don't get a response until sometime in the future.
Yeah, and so a lot of it's stuff like this is the I think this is the all in one button, and it sort of sets stuff up. I'm quite sure why it's saying this, all in one flag equals false. Let's go and find it. This is feeling very slow. Why that is. Oh, okay. So this is that all-in-one button. You can actually step it through sort of each bit at a time by pressing the dozen demo buttons and step it through to where you want it. That's quite cool, but yeah, this is the all-in-one button, and it sort of sets it all up. And then what's it do? And then it does this connect thing. And the connect sort of starts a connection, and then everything gets sent to the on done. You know, they send an on done message, and the on done routine, which will be here hopefully. Client request done. So it does. Now this is the request. And if you're doing it one step at a time, it just exits pretty much. But otherwise, it does the first bits. This is the SMTP connect. It comes there and sets up the next stage. So set usually we're going to authenticate. So I'll have the AHLO. And they'll call that, and then it pretty much exits straight away. And you can look at it in here. This is where I'll put a whole lot of unfortunately, I had put a whole lot of excess rubbish in here while I was trying to figure out how it was all working. So,
So I mean, did you set it all up and then say, go and send this message and it's all there and then you don't see any more until it comes back with the message? With the, it's been successful or hasn't been successful? Or do you have to go away and asynchronously do open the channel and then send the data?
yeah, I think when you call it, it does all the setup of the asynchronous stuff
Yeah.
and starts it, and then it exits back. And if it needs to do more stuff, it will get a message and say, you know, like if you're sending lots of data, it will send another message and it'll go and I've got more data and push that out a bit, and then come back and sit there waiting for you to do something. Then another message will come along, and once that method has completed, it will call this done thing when that particular method has all the data's been sent, or the hello or the authentication. So it's seems to be a different way of doing it to what I guess, yeah, rather than just doing everything and waiting.
Well, it fits in with the Windows model because you click a button and you want the button to clear. Whereas if you click the button and it's got to go away and do its connection and send some data, that might take 30 or 40 seconds. So
Yeah.
the button hangs up. So if you're using Indy, you've actually got to use threads for Indy, whereas this system obviously uses threads within itself.
Yeah, I don't know if it uses any threads.
Oh, it must do.
Well, it might, but
You don't have to use the threads, it uses it within itself.
yeah, but like I ran a thing watching it, like what was it? What's that thing called?
Monitor or something like that.
Yeah, explore. No, what is it?
Process Explorer.
Oh yeah, that's it. Process Explorer. And I just had it sitting there watching the thing, and it didn't. Well, I mean, it's possible it was too fast, but it didn't have any additional threads, show any spare threads while it was when it was doing this.
Yeah, it has to have a thread chat.
Yeah, but it didn't. It had like 4.
I don't know, if you play the Indy application, it might include your 40 threads there.
Oh, hello.
It's very difficult to catch the light.
Hello.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
The online.
Yeah.
Good to see Kane though.
Yeah. This is Overbyte. So you can sort of see the threads there.
Can you set a breakpoint?
Um,
Have to stop at a breakpoint? Is that what you've done? Or?
no, I just, oh, there's a callback. So it did make something.
There's a text down IDU as well.
Yeah, there's a things down here, you can see all of the things that you're using.
Oh, okay.
Only when you, yeah. Go.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not sure whether that shows the DML ones.
Oh, okay. So briefly, they all, fair enough. Yeah, I was looking at this and I wasn't this, oh, well, now it's got piles when I was looking at it before. Oh, well, there you go. Well, that's useful. But I may not have been using this, you know, I might have been using the normal SMTP before. Whereas this is a web. Yeah, it should be similar, you'd think. Do I feel like changing the meaning file? Oh, yeah. So. What else? Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, what's next? We should, has anyone got any questions about all of that?
So that supports all of the latest SSL.
Yeah, that's got, this one's running, actually, that's the thing in it. It's got a button for that. Has this got a button? I think it has. Okay, maybe it's not this one. That's it. Anyway, we'll have a quick look at a web server, their web server demo. For some reason, this thing seems to be very, very slow here. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's just, what do they call it? Demo gods. Oh, okay. I'm just. Yeah, so this one is basically a simple SSL web server. What happened to this? On this one, you can ask it what the OpenSSL version is. And so it's 3.0.7.1. So you kind of hope they don't have another vulnerability in this version.
So that was the whole server, does it?
Sorry,
That was the whole server. That you just connected to a port on the machine. You don't need Apache or ISS.
yeah, no, this is just so doesn't, what have I got? What am I missing? 82, 1443. 1443. HTTPS. Yes. So it is going through filter so that I can see exactly what's going out and what I'm asking for and what it's sending back. So a refresh. Hopefully we can find in here. So it's sending a not modified and just returning the common part one. Here's a demo menu. And so this is what we sent from Edge, and this is what it sent back, which looks like that. There's some interest. And so it's oh yeah, and yeah, I think because this thing's turned on, I probably should just turn it off for a bit. This thing will actually do TLS 1.3, which is kind of new and interesting. I wonder if I can. Might just close this edge and open it again. Oh, come on. Right. But
That's using 1.3, isn't it? Says so up top.
sorry.
Says so up top.
Right. Oh yeah. Glad you. Yeah, so that's kind of what you want, I think. Well, these days they seem to be slowly migrating there. What else have we got? Yeah, and like the email program, it seems to do its message processing asynchronously and mostly all in the main thread. Well, except it seems that maybe not. Okay, so if I go into there and we look in this thread, Okay, it's not. Oh, come on. I'm trying very hard to make threads. HTML. Okay, my guess is it's just saying bringing back. No, I'm not quite sure. Actually, because at any rate, yeah, if we look at the certificate, at least it, I mean, it complains, but it does actually, the other ones it just flatly refused to connect. It just went, yeah, no, this is an old certificate, not going to connect to you at all.
It depends on the browser.
Yeah, well, yeah, I bet. I mean, these are just Chrome and
Yeah, browser.
yeah. So yeah, I made this one, and it works well enough, and I'm pretty sure if I actually stuck it in as a root certificate, Edge would like it.
So how did you get your certificate? It's just with the backup on it.
Yeah, just with OpenSSL. They have a batch file to make it, but the batch file is quite old and it makes a faulty one, so I just edit it a bit so it would yeah, it made one that would have worked 3 or 5 years ago, but yeah, no, they're all, they don't work anymore. Now, what's the other thing? Oh, actually, Fiddler, because it seems to work quite well. You know, well, I'm not going to. I can't get Fiddler to send. Ooh. I can't get Fiddler to send stuff to it in HTTPS for some reason. So there is something a bit wrong to send. Okay, so we can go there. We can go there. HTML. Let's go 5. Yeah, that goes. All right, so we can get this. And then we can shift R. So we can ask it to send like 20 of these at it. Just repeat the same message to it 20 times and go, okay. And so that was, and if we probably will find lots to get demos in this thing. So if we can look at that. Okay, and if I put this Shift R, I go 20 again. A bit interested in. Yeah, that's what I was getting before. It's sort of not a lot of. I mean, I guess even in here it doesn't look like it's putting lots in there. Star 30. Okay. So it's not doing a lot of, well, it's not making a lot of spare threads. So anyway. Yeah, unfortunately, the Overbyte website's a bit broken today. So everything, yeah. Yeah. I also made an actual demo, my demo, which is even way simpler than this demo. F12. We can trial this one, I guess. Right, how do I get that? Well, that was very strange. Well, we can go and try. I have no idea what this is. So it's good. This guy. Yeah, so this is a much simpler one. But it sort of has a simple bit in there for so yeah, when you can that demo one, it creates it sort of in code, whereas a lot of the other ones it gets it from
Just really file, but you can actually generate code and analyze the page and send it back in.
yeah. So there is, where are we looking for? Gee, that's this get document function. You can it does a bit of logging, but then you can check for the path and such like in there, and then go and do something based on if it matches that. But the default is just to find it in the folder in its root directory or subdirectory of the root directory. Oh yeah, you're also supposed to check for dots and such like. You know,
Going up the directory tree.
beyond your root folder. So yeah, you actually do need to do that manually, so that you don't let them just wander all over your file system. Which I haven't done any of that. But yeah, that's my presentation.
So you wrote the demo.
I wrote this very little demo. The other ones came with it. Oh, I was pretty impressed actually, because they were not perfect, but they all compiled and ran.
Yeah.
You know, I had to jump through hoops to make my certificates work with them, but that's because I think the new OpenSSL are following the current web standards and just going, no, you can't use that.
But I mean, presumably that line there where you've got compare text paths. So you're actually just serving the equivalent of a file, aren't you? But presumably you've got access to the, or is the text path, has it got the question marks and stuff in it? Has it got, if you put in a document and send it, could you analyze the parts of the document?
I would have.
So in other words, if somebody putting their name in a document and then that was what,
Yeah, well,
so the form was coming in as the HTML.
yeah,
They've got, presumably they got stuff,
yeah, there's a
extraction.
post document as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
But in this case, I would assume that well, if we go there, it's probably got things for,
or get a post. Don't really interchangeable most of the time, I think.
yeah. But I think
They
there's,
have got stuff to say extracting values out of a form.
I think so, yeah. I'm just trying to look because. Oh, well, yeah, this would be them here. Request host name is request auth. Right. So I think these are all header fields from the request header. So they're things that you wouldn't see, but wonder where, I think path.
So you've got, path and file name.
Params in the request. The question mark is separator. So yeah, it looks to have you can pull these to bits as you need. I'm quite interested to see what would happen if I did actually do // new text document.
Or C colon slash.
Yeah, let's not go. Text.
Love your originality, don't you?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so if we were to go / red text. Cool. Good, that's interesting. Well, let's just let it run and see what it comes back with. Slash. Something didn't like it. I guess that's potentially good.
Well, but you've got to give it a real file name or. Dot, I can figure out personal details.html.
Yeah, well, that red.text should exist. It's there.
And that's what all of that areas on my server are. Get WordPress.config or yeah. Apache.config and all that, so they try all of those.
Just in case something's stopping it, yeah. Or something's not quite configured correctly and they go, the system's got.
It's just interesting to look at what they're looking for. Yeah. Okay, well, that's better than I thought it might have been.
So did you find it easy to write the demo just using the
Um,
Teams, or was it just because you were copying it from the
yeah,
other one? It was just a cut and paste.
yeah, and I sort of shove these in, or this in, really. So, but actually, I mean, it didn't seem very hard to do any of this, really. No, getting this one to work was, yeah, I mean, I did cut and paste a little bit out of the other one, but yeah, I found it was quite easy to do that, but I don't know the in-depth how things are gonna, yeah, all the ins and outs that yeah, and they have a version of this that runs as a service, like that.
Well, which is what you want, really, like the Windows.
Yeah, and yeah, interestingly enough, they're pointing at there's some other third-party website that has fixes for the service module that's in Windows or in Delphi, because it doesn't, you know, it's like pre-Windows 2000, the service thing in Delphi.
Yeah, it's got some extra properties. I
Yeah,
think a name property or something like that you can put in. Because, you know, I've used that. Never really knew whether I needed to or not, but it seemed to work at the time, so.
mm.
So is this available on through Pascal too, or does it work on Lazarus?
Don't know. They don't seem to say anything about Lazarus. I'm sort of half wondering if
But you're saying that they are working towards the Android, so that's the Delphi.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking the other week that, you know, maybe the reason they're not giving any support to Indie is because as soon as someone does something to it, Lazarus gets it and can use it. It's something, you know, you're helping Lazarus as well.
He's never had any support for Indian. I mean, it's atrocious considering it's a basic functionality of the thing.
Yeah, yeah. So
But your problem with Indy is that you can't specify the other SSLs, etc.
you can. There is a third-party person that's sort of making bits of them.
Or is studying the Delphi version?
No, there's a third party. There's a third-party person that is making. I don't know. Last time I saw, they'd made a pull request to Indy, and Indy has just sat there on it and gone, meh.
The Indy documentation's just disappeared at everything. So
Uh-huh.
last time I was looking, somebody gave me a copy that the site's gone.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's a bit scary.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you go to their site and you just go around in circles. There's no info involved. 6 or 8 months ago, I suppose. One of the ADUG people forwarded me a copy or put it up on Dropbox or something.
So isn't Remy LeBeau's?
Yeah.
I think the software is still being supported.
Yeah. Documentation.
I mean, you know, he's probably like me, he doesn't like doing documentation. No, you don't really. Yep. So, follow one, might make a layer. Yeah,
Okay.
that was my experience. I don't know that I tried every bit, but I spent some time looking for it. And then put a complaint on the ADUG site and people offered me a copy, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you've got all the code, but it's just, sometimes you want to know what the name of the function is, and it's a bit hard to find it.
Hmm.
They were supposed to use something.
Though I guess in at least partially your the IDE has an indie section in it.
I don't know that they have any documentation for it.
Well, yeah, but if you go third-party help, well, this one doesn't seem to.
Third-party products, third-party home. I presume I looked there first. Well, maybe I didn't. Maybe I was so sick of looking for.
Yeah, no, maybe, because certainly on.
Maybe I was sitting in the evening page. I was getting very.
Yeah, because I guess, yeah, the one I normally. What's happening? Like the traditional music, then this one. And I'm pretty sure, well, maybe. I've just sort of been migrating slowly towards 11. But this was the one I've been using forever.
Well, I don't think even in Market Evo has help for Berlin, does it? On their website.
Oh, no, but I mean, you've got all the ordinary help.
What do you mean?
Well, hopefully, if this ever actually runs.
Last time I looked, they only had help for Tokyo, maybe now in Rio and Sydney. You know, in the wiki,
Yeah.
they had tabs for Berlin and old versions, but they didn't. Haven't looked for a while, but yeah.
Oh, it's, yeah, well, they had that major crash, so they possibly don't. But if I go in help and go third-party help, I have an indie help.
Oh, wow, okay. That's within the IDE.
Yeah. So maybe I put that in there because, like I say, I've had this for a long time, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have.
It might have come with Berlin, yeah. But
Yeah, but
I don't use the dot with you all the time. I
Okay.
don't bother with the help on the product.
okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, it's in there and it's not in 11, so that's interesting. But yeah, gee, this computer's going so slowly.
So don't give up your copy of Indie Help because you can't get it from Indie. But there's lots of ADUG people who have it. I have it, the problem is remembering where I stored it on my computer.
You have that problem too, do you?
Yeah, I've got lots of notes to say where it is, but I
Yeah, I was sure I'd copied those. Remember a few symposiums, we got those little credit card
yeah.
style things with, yeah, from continuity group. I was sure I'd copied them onto my computer. Looking for them the other day, couldn't find them anywhere. So unless it's on my old computer and I just failed to
that's
copy
the
it
trouble
across.
with computers.
Yeah,
Mm.
What did you need to?
oh, I was looking for Vincent's presentation, which somebody then sent me
Right.
on a code ADUG symposium presentations USB, and I've got a couple of them somewhere in my office, but goodness only knows where.
They're in a safe place.
They're in a very safe place.
Yeah. I think when we put
Yeah.
that on,
They were living on my desk so long
yeah, I went
that I
looking
put them
for
in a safe
something. and
place.
didn't
Now I
find
can't
them.
find them.
Probably, when you have a safe place, you need to take a photo of it on your phone.
Yeah. And then, of course, you've got to remember that it's on your phone, and then you've got to find it on your phone because it was 2 years ago.
Mm.
We're going to put everything.
No,
There's nothing in the
That's
game.
wonderful.
Yeah, that's well worth having.
Any group of residential work within the search, this one show you where it is.
Search is found names,
Think
but
about it. Yeah,
yeah,
but it should have been under ADUG, so it wasn't under ADUG, so. Goodness knows where it was. I think
It's a while ago.
what else can we do?
So that's why we're members of ADUG, so we can do that stuff.
Yeah.
All people we do. Yeah, that's right, but as I said, I don't believe it's legal. Oh, it wasn't.
I'm not for editing. Oh, here,
Hey, so download is for the indie itself.
Yeah.
So is it really a choice between ICS and Indie, or are there other packages around?
It's Windows sockets.
Yeah,
Was it Windsock was the one that, which was the one that, well, they recommended?
Yeah, well, that's,
There was something preceded indie,
mm,
and the people who had a component indie.
well, shows same, so
That's a big skill.
well, there's a new Nexus one out, and I was going to have a look at that, but my subscription has expired, so I couldn't get it.
you see it?
yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
I mean, it's really just a whole lot of.
I'm just,
boring stuff,
Yeah,
you know, to put in with the protocol.
so,
But I'm much more comfortable with the concept of blocking. And then having your own tools.
Yeah.
As we think from,
yeah.
and managing all of that, which is the way indie works, so.
But there's some of the REST packages like Mars, they always space themselves in other libraries, or have any of them written their own?
What, the bits.
Yeah, there's REST libraries, which obviously have to use all of this sort of stuff.
They use it, but I didn't know.
that?
Yeah. Client things as well. I think there are examples. I'll have to have a look, it's a long time. But I was just wondering whether any of those in their servers.
I think you even use within the event centers.
Yes, but do you need to use Indie for those, or have some of them actually written some of the code that you would
some of it's cost.
use Indie for
Yeah.
themselves, written their own solid code?
As I say, you just need the protocol that you support with sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ICS or Indie or.
Need to mute if
Yeah.
Inside.
Very annoying. Yeah. Right.
What's my name?
That's what he says.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Looks like the browser actually removes those dots.
And
The browser, you know, how I was playing with it, putting a dot in there. It looks like the browser gets rid of those.
well, possibly does.
Yeah. So I
If
tried.
you're doing it in Indie, you could put dots in.
I played with this fiddler and I was able to put some dots in there, and it comes back with forbidden,
Or in.
403 forbidden. Which is
Where's
good.
that coming from?
Oh, that'll be coming from my little server thing that I made. So something's checked.
So it's forbidding it before it gets to that line. Before it gets into that routine that you were showing us.
Yeah, maybe.
Or did you get, I thought it had got into that routine.
Well, before it wasn't sending
In other words,
this
if it
bit.
gets to that vote point, you're through.
Yeah, hang on, we'll just resend this.
Or maybe not.
Oh, it's getting there. Well, I guess this could always check for it.
It's
but-
not in the past, because they have the dots in the past.
Yeah, this is what it's saying.
No, in the
In
variable.
the,
In the variable path when you get there.
Oh, good question.
Go over it.
So you got the vote, is it?
I'll just send it again.
No, it's there, hover over it.
But we're not broken. It's not break. I pushed that
Got to
on.
send it to the bar, yeah.
Yeah, so you just replay, reissue requests.
Yeah,
Okay.
so in the path, what's in the path? Yeah, it's got the dots.
Yeah.
but it's looking for,
Huh?
Well, it must, after this, it must go, this is bad.
And it'll try and open that directory. And that directory will say you can't, there's no such directory, and that's one of the big.
Well, it should,
No,
the spotlights like that's going up, like for.
That's what I mean, but we know what. We're not in the website anymore.
yeah, no, I put a Fred.text in that folder above it.
The third.txt.
Yeah, into
But we
the,
got two lots of dots, you need.
would you
No.
slash dot slash dot dot slash?
no, there's one lot of dots. There's a slash dot slash, which is just stay in this current directory and then go up one. I tried with just dot dot and it whinged and said forbidden, so I thought I'd try and see if it would
Like, as I said, it's got through, so this create virtual document.
well, it doesn't execute that because it doesn't matter.
Oh, right, yeah, so,
But it goes through and then it's
so when it goes and does
it's default.
its default, yeah, so the default kicks it out.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you were gonna open a document and send it back
yeah,
at this point,
yeah, if I
you
was,
have to check that you're not going up the two.
yeah. If you're, at this stage, you need to check, make sure it's not us.
If you use that path variable, you've got to, yeah. Because you may want to allow them to go to another directory up the tree.
Well, I'd be throwing exceptions.
Yeah,
I'd be throwing exceptions on that.
yeah, but I mean, that might be your application, you might have your,
I know, but like, that's sort of, that's like document stuff, and you don't want to. You do
Yeah, I guess that's exactly the thing you don't want it doing. You know, you don't want to allow exceptions for that, really. You could have them going somewhere and then you could go and look at somewhere else, maybe.
well, that's right, that's what I'm saying, you have to do all of that once you put it up.
Yeah, so I guess I could, if it came in and said demo.html, I could go and look at fred.txt and post it out to them.
Well, as I say, that's what they're trying to do, they're trying to get things like your
Config file.
WordPress config and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The stuff that you can have a look and see who's in there.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah. I'm sure, well, I guess, who was it? Wasn't there a group that had meetings last year? What was that? It was about some TMS web.
Yeah, that was after the symposium, when Holtfleet made a presentation on a web. And then
Matthias
Matthias ran
Yeah,
a workshop.
yeah, because I mean, that's had a web server in it.
TMS,
Yeah. But yeah, I guess if you want to make your own special customized TLS server, this seems.
now I use the indie one, but only because by doing your own survey, you can put the breakpoints in. But it's much harder to put breakpoints in if you're using the web server to Apache or iOS,
Mhm.
and therefore you don't know when your Delphi program is going to start running. So by using an indie server, I can do all the breakpoints and stuff. And then when I've done all of that, I just throw the indie server away and replace it with IIS.
Oh, okay.
So I only use indie for debug.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I guess yeah, for production server, you're probably far better off with something like.
Well, we've got all these protections.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you do your test cases if you're switching? So you're testing with Indie, but in production you're with IIS. So you haven't really tested your production at all.
Yeah, because I have a series of test cases that make sure the indie server with its stuff works exactly the same as IIS with its stuff. So there's a common point where both systems go through and they work the same thereafter.
So this is like an ISAPI DLL.
And
This is an ISAPI.
now I just use CGI because it's easier.
Oh, okay.
So I write a Delphi application. It's a console app and run it as a CGI. Or run it in or compile with VB front end or CGI.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
I mean, we go right back to the start. What was the name of it? ADUG had some software when they only had it for Delphi 6. It was some sort of it was operating software that lets you debug Delphi on an IIS server. Got you into it. I forgot the name of it. It's in the code somewhere to say that if you have such and such, then do this.
Oh, okay.
And then went to debugging the hard way where you make stuff, analyze and trim out log files and stuff. And then when Indie came along, replace it with Indie.
With Delphi MVC framework, I've done some development with that and with test cases, it started a instance of the server and then say an instance of the client in the same test thing and call the server to test out the server.
Yeah. Then you get into a knot with the breakpoints, whether the breakpoints are which part of the code the breakpoints relate to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it works well doing that.
So you're using the latest version of DMVC,
Oh, that was a while ago, but it didn't work nicely.
but the second version 2 rather than version 1. Because I did something with DMVC a while ago, and when I looked at the new version, I was having a little bit of difficulty relating it to the old one.
Does that do resident stuff or is it So
Yeah, it's an open source.
basically just opening out the communications channel to the West, yeah.
Yeah, and I was simulating a REST server that I was interfacing to, so I wrote a REST server.
And
to
I know
test-
that's what ways of busting into the email of it.
Yeah,
I could never be bothered working it out. It's much easier to do. I get much easier to do the way I do it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really good if you get it in the same application. It's just policies.
Yeah, okay.
but Mars is another similar sort of thing to DMVC. And just curious to see. I don't know anybody's actually used Mars, but it looks to be quite a good one as well. Another open source REST library.
Mhm.
I think they're both Italians, written by Italians.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I went up with that MVC book.
So,
Daniel, it's easier.
oh, yeah,
That was,
yeah, and Andrea Magni,
yeah, something like that.
yeah.
Oh, well,
Thank you.
That's it.
thank you.
So you did that just to do the presentation of you, or you want to get into this stuff or? You,
I wanted, Indy's been annoying me a bit because I wanted to make like an email thing, but you know, I would like it to have a current version of OpenSSL. And I thought I'd play with this because it,
so is that an SSL to DLL or?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like in the.
So we'll use a common DLL for SSL, both systems, is that right?
Well, this one's using Indy by default's using 1.0 DLL, which is sort of obsolete. And some of these third-party things gets it up to 1.1, which is also not current, but it's still supported, I think, at least. Whereas 1.0 it's out of support.
So if you get the latest DLL, it won't load, Indy won't drive it.
Yeah, they have different executable name or different DLL names. And yeah, it won't load it.
So you can't run OpenSSL2 with Indy.
Well, they had 1.1 and then 3. For some reason they skipped 2.
Have a look at my code, because I thought I was running.
I thought it was just a matter that they didn't have some of the names in it that you have to.
You've got me curious now. I'm going to go back and have a look at my code.
Maybe, no, I don't know.
So when you go to get your OpenSSL, you go and get it from the supplier.
Oh, well, traditionally I've just looked around for it and they had one that,
Yeah, I think you just look for an OpenSSL DLL.
yeah, that's what I traditionally did, but Overbyte had them. And I have looked at them in the past and looking for DLLs and found this, and they had all this stealthy stuff. But previously the SSL bit was not free. So I've just gone there, maybe next time. But now it's free. I thought I'd have a look at it.
The hassle's always been the fact of the emergency sport license, doesn't it? I thought that was the issue.
I thought I downloaded one from Switzerland.
That's what I mean, you can't
Yeah.
get it from America because it's.
Yeah.
It's encryption.
No, that was ages ago. You've been, I mean, there still might be
That's
some.
why it's in the DI, what, one.
Hmm.
Instead of all being,
Yeah, someone sells the OpenSSL as a Pascal thing that you say you don't need the DLL, but it's a paid for product. And I didn't realize that until I was trawling through this Overbyte site, that, yeah, it's a product that someone's gone to the effort of recoding it from the C code into Delphi. And they will sell it to you. So you can sell your program without a DLL or two DLLs.
What did they charge for it?
I don't know. I never got that far. Well, yeah, well,
that you only have to pay it once.
Yeah.
well, you hope, but there might be an annual fee because they keep changing OpenSSL.
Well, if you want to maintain, you.
So, what else? That was,
That's good.
yeah, no,
So we invite all these people across for a cup of coffee and that,
I was considering where the PO running and what to see.
yeah, look, we can't talk about it. The things that we're not coming. Who's still here?
Yeah, we were saying in the car coming in that maybe we should have had an in-person meeting only tonight, just to make sure the Melburnians.
Zoom meeting finished or?
no, I've got our presentation finished.
But then we don't know when we're gonna be back where we were, do we? Last Monday, we decided to.
So you can turn off cruise ship, it's got here in the stream.
Right. Oh, what's happening?
Which suggested we would go back in the ship with them. And we wound up on this tram, absolutely tram packed with cruise ship passengers. Because it was with the last, it was Saturday, they all had to go back to their cruise ship by 3 o'clock. And the train was absolutely chock a block with cruise ship. But that was over, we only last week, so. I'm sure we were going to get it.
So if you're going to finish it off, we should have Santa.
Santa. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
How many seconds before you finish? It's going to make an appearance.
yeah. Here, hang on, you do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And good on you.